Atlanta News First meteorologist JD Disherin here, and apologies for the late delay here, having a little technical difficulties behind the scenes. But a live look at radar shows that we are dealing with showers and storms across the metro, at least the northern metro and northern Georgia area, and that's going to continue to slowly pull towards the south as we head into the evening hours. So for folks in Atlanta, Douglasville, Noonan, Griffin, even into Covington, this isn't going to be heading in your direction as we go into the next, like maybe 8, 9 o'clock, maybe even 10 o'clock hour time frame. So let's take a look at some of these active warnings as we're going into the evening hours. So this first one we had for Gainesville and over in towards Homer and Lula, that thankfully has been allowed to expire. But as you take a look behind it, we do have this warning here for folks up into Dawson County, over in towards the Juneau area. And as we zoom in, maybe some large hail for folks heading into Dougherty and Dawsonville and over into Landrum as well. The big warning that we've been watching, and I say big warning, not because of the potential, just to go ahead and ignore that right there, of size of it, but this is the storm that we've actually had reports of golf ball sized hail with this particular cell as it's pushed through northern Polk County, about to enter northern Paulding County right now. So wherever you see this dark purple color, and this is going to be just to the south of Taylorsville over towards Ironstab. Again, moving from Polk County in towards Paulding County over the course of the next few minutes. This is the storm that's going to be bringing some very large hail into your direction. I'm going to go ahead and track this out for you so you guys can actually see what we're talking about here. Get it set up real quick. I want to make sure it's got the right speed on it so I have the right times for you. So the hell core of this storm, as we track it out, we're talking it's going to be making its way over towards Crossroads by about 7:50. Ackworth for folks into that area in northern Cobb County into southern Bartow County, we're going to be looking at about 7:56. If it holds together, we're going to be looking at Kennesaw at 8:01. So one of the things that we have noticed with this particular cell and the system as a whole, and I say this because I just mentioned if it holds together, is because they have been pulsing down just a bit. So they're going to ramp up really quickly. But then after about a half hour or so, they do start to slowly wind down. But they're all not going to do that. Some are going to last a little long and others. That's why I say for folks Kennesaw and over into Ackworth, definitely pay attention to this storm. You've already got thunder and lightning in your vicinity. You can see that with the lightning tracker over to the northwestern portion of Cobb County right now. And we're going to continue to watch these showers and storms because as I zoom out a little bit, and we're going to pull it back over into northern Alabama, you can see we have a lot more severe thunderstorm warnings starting to move into that area. So, this is just definitely going to be unfortunately, a very active evening and something that we're going to have to keep an eye on as we head into the overnight hours as well. So, you notice for folks over into, and we just got a new one over there for Albertville. So for folks over into Chattooga County, over in towards Catoosa County, down towards Floyd, Polk again, going in towards Cobb and Paulding and Harrelson and Carrollton even. These storms are going to start to slowly move in your direction as we go through the next few hours or so. In fact, we got one pulsing up right now over the Carrollton area exactly. And let's see what it's been doing over the course of the past half hour. So, yeah, you can see this one has slowly intensified as we've gone through the past few minutes or so, and we've started to see that lightning ramp up. So I think for folks down into the Whitesburg area, over in towards Rootville, and eventually making its way down to 27 towards Noonan and Coweta County and Chattahoochee Hills and Palmetto and southern Fulton County, this is going to be a storm to watch for your areas, even though it doesn't have a warning on it yet. It's got that potential because it is still continuing to intensify as we go throughout the next several hours or so. So that's a little bit of what we're looking at in terms of the radar right now. Meanwhile, what we are going to be looking at, here's another view of this one right here, is the potential for more severe weather overnight. So everyone in our viewing area, with the exception of Upson County, is under a severe thunderstorm warning until the midnight hour. Now, I think as we get through the next few hours or so, the threat for northern Georgia, and when I say northern, I don't mean all of us, I mean like extreme northern Georgia, like north of Rome. I think that's going to diminish, but it's something that we're just going to have to keep an eye on and keep that potential out there for as we go throughout the next several hours. So again, we're going to be watching this because as we take a look through 10, 11 o'clock, we're going to watch these storms continue to multiply, slide to the south by this point, making its way into Athens, into the Atlanta area, back down towards Carrollton and LaGrange, over into Randolph and Cleveland counties in Alabama. And then as we get through 11 o'clock, now pushing more towards the south and into the east metro, but a few stragglers on the backside are not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, I really don't think we get rid of this until we get to about 4 a.m. on Friday morning. That's when the actual front slides through. Once it does, Temperatures will begin to drop as we go into tomorrow morning. You'll wake up in the upper 30s to low 40s outside of the metro. Inside the perimeter, we're going to be looking at the mid 40s and a cool start. And then not as warm tomorrow afternoon. We're talking temperatures into the mid 60s with that 30% chance of showers. So that's one of the things we're going to keep an eye on, because we're going to notice that chance of showers is going to continue as we get into your Friday. So let's go ahead and take a look at what you can expect, because we have another round possible as we get in towards Friday. So notice by about 1 p.m. in the afternoon, we're going to start to see that, little bit of shower activity north Georgia. It kind of is rotating around the backside of the system. So not as strong to severe, nowhere near as strong to severe as the potential that we have for today. And notice by 10 o'clock, it's really gone. So once we lose that sunshine and that heating, that's pretty much all done for the storms for tomorrow. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty benign day tomorrow compared to what we're seeing out there right now. Beyond that, your weekend looks fantastic. We're going to be talking about temperatures right around 63 degrees for your Saturday, 72 degrees on Sunday. Sunday's looking gorgeous. The better of the 2 days, but honestly, either day is going to be great to get out and enjoy what Mother Nature has to offer. And by Monday, we're going to be warming back up into the 80s. So, Saturday 60s, 70 Sundays, 80s on Monday. Thankfully, the streak does end there. We're not talking 90s like next week, but we will be seeing another weak front start to push through, giving us the potential on Tuesday, maybe a 20% chance of a shower. Not a lot of moisture with that particular front, mainly in northwest Georgia before it fizzles out. So maybe like Rome, in that area over towards Dawsonville and up towards Dahlonega, and then it kind of fizzles. But it does leave its mark. Notice those morning temperatures dip back into the 40s here in Atlanta, and afternoons on Wednesday and Thursday looking right at 70 degrees. Now, the next big system that we're going to keep an eye on is going to be a week from tomorrow. So 8 days. We're talking the Friday after this 7-day forecast. That's, I think, the next big front, not necessarily in potential for severe weather, but it's the next really good chance we have at a soaking rain across the area. So we got about 8 days until we get to that point. Until then, it's just like a little small chance Friday, a little small chance Tuesday. Otherwise, we got lots of sunshine in between. So for those of you who are just joining, let's go back because I want to show you what we were talking about earlier. And that's going to be the severe weather that's kind of moving across North Georgia right now. We still have our active warnings for folks just to the south of Dahlonega and over in towards northern Paulding County. Right now, let's zoom in on that particular cell because it's moving in towards Paulding County and over in towards northern Cobb County. I'm going to recenter this and kind of zoom in just a little bit. It's, the cell's moving quickly. We're talking about 40 miles an hour. And I want to just kind of track, not the whole thing, but that little purple area, because that's where we have the potential for some very large hail. That's where we had reports earlier over into Polk County of some very large hail about the size of golf balls. So it looks like that signature, the deeper, darker white colors have gone away, but still we've got that little itty bitty core of pink where that potential for golf ball sized hail remains. And tracking that out, you can see Crowville looking at 747. Folks in Ackworth, updated time now is 7:55. Kennesaw still around, or Kennesaw, I should say, still around the top of the hour, and then Woodstock, I try to put those two together, around 8:10 if it holds together. So we'll have to wait and see if they extend this warning. I think regardless, you're going to be looking at a lot of heavy rain, and even if it doesn't remain severe, I think in these areas, Ackworth, Kennesaw, Woodstock, you're at least going to see some small hail in those areas, talking like maybe pea-sized to dime-sized hail. It's got to be the size of a quarter or larger for it to be considered severe, but, nickel and dime-sized hail can add up really quickly. So that's what we're looking at with that particular cell. We're going to watch the other cell, again, over near and south of Dahlonega, as it continues to slide out of that warning. It looks like if they were going to extend it, they already would. But still, Chestatee, Murrayville, over towards Gainesville. In fact, Gainesville already got hit with one earlier, maybe another one heading your way with a lot of lightning. Yeah, and you can see that hail core trying to reform just a bit to the west of Gainesville. Now, it's moving a little bit farther to the southeast, so folks in Oakwood, down into Candler, in Hall County, this is going to be heading in your direction eventually towards Brazelton, Flowery Branch, Talmo, and then our other warning is going to be over in towards the Homer and Commerce area, moving down towards the southeast, towards Danielsville. So a lot of active warnings, thankfully no tornado warnings at this time, but it's just something that we're going to keep an eye on here in the First Alert Weather Center as we head throughout the rest of the evening. We'll do more updates on air and online as we head throughout the evening. And then for tomorrow's threat for storms in the afternoon, we'll do more of the same. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and into the evening hours. Stay weather safe and have a great evening. We'll see you back here next time.